Recording. Welcome, everybody. This is Dawn's 11 o'clock Friday class. It's book number 134, which is AFI's 100 Years, 100 Greatest Songs of the American Film Institute. And we're doing two songs today that are really fun. Suicide is Painless and Summer Nights. So they're both really a lot of fun, and I think you'll enjoy them both. Not that there's a super awful lot to teach on them. It's pretty much as they are, but the trivia for Suicide is Painless is actually wonderful. I love it. And it was stuff that I didn't know about. When you look at the title, you go, that's a dumb title. That's just really a dumb title. Okay, so why did they call it this, and what was the big deal? So after researching it, I did find out why. It was written by Johnny Mandel and Michael Altman. This is the theme song for both the movie and the TV show MASH, which I think we all loved that show. It was very silly. The song was written for Ken Primus, who was the actor playing Private Seidman, who sang it during the fake suicide of Walter Painless Pole Waldowski. All right, so it was actually written for an episode of, or a scene that was in the movie. Director Robert Altman had two stipulations about the song for Mandel. Okay, he said, you have to write me a song for this particular scene. Number one, it has to be called Suicide is Painless, because they were doing a fake suicide. Okay, and number two, it had to be the stupidest song ever written. So the movie director told them, this is how you have to write it. So Altman attempted to write the lyrics himself, and he found it too difficult. So he gave it to his 14-year-old son, Michael, because his 45-year-old brain just couldn't come up with anything stupid enough. So his 14-year-old son wrote the lyrics in 5 minutes, all 6 verses. So once on Johnny Carson in the 1980s, Robert Altman said he made only $70,000 for directing the movie, but his son, Michael, made more than $1 million for having co-written the song. So that's why it's called Suicide is Painless, but it actually, that's a wonderful piece of trivia for everybody. It ranks number 66 in AFI's 100 Years, 100 Songs. So now I know why, and now you all know why too. It's called Suicide is Painless, a very silly song for a very silly show. And I'm just going to play it for you first. I've got it on guitars, 4/4, which on the smaller organs is actually smooth guitarist. And I'm just going to play it for you first and see what you think, and then we'll talk about what I did. So go ahead and mute yourselves. Don't forget, while I'm playing, it's good to just mute yourselves so everybody can hear clearly. Okay.
I like that.
Yeah, this is just a fun song to play. And so what was on the bottom, I had just a nice acoustic guitar on the top. And again, that was guitars 4/4 at 120. And on the bottom, the sound is actually called a sestolo, and it is a blown over bottle jug and a flute overblow put together. It should come up on your rhythm preset. It should be right there. For those of you who don't have those sounds, make sure you have, like if you're on a smaller instrument where you only have one keyboard, make sure you have an acoustic guitar set up, and someplace make sure you know how to get to a flute so you can put that flute in. You might even want to combine the flute and the guitar together, and that might be the perfect sound for you. So, take some chances with that. Did I change a few of the chords? Yes, a few. So get your pencils out. Nothing for great shakes here. Put a 7 on the very first D minor. So it's C, D, and F. Or just play D minor, not a big deal. Second line, make the C a C major 7, which is C and B, chickens and butterflies. Or if you want to play B and C, I see nothing, I won't look. Make the A minor, if you wish, an A minor 7, which is C, G, and A. The D minor can also have a 7 on it. C, D, and F. Third line, the G can be plain old thumb on G. It can be a G7, or for those of you that like to challenge yourself, you can make it a G9. A G9 is 4 fingers in a row, F, G, A, B. Just makes it a nice chord. At the end of that line, third line, the A minor is good for 2 counts. And over the E half note, beat 3, put in an A sus or an A7 sus. That's a suspended 4th chord. Your notes are D, E, A. And if you want to put the 7 in, it's D, E, G, A. D, E, G, A. And it will say in your window A7 sus, so you'll know. Let's go to the next line. Third measure, you may wish to put a 7 on the D minor. Last line, make the C a C major 7, C and B. Put a 7 on the A minor if you wish, C, G, and A. The F, make it an F major 7, E and F. Cross out the C and replace it with E minor, E and G. Let's go to the second page. Second line, second measure, third beat. Cross out the C and replace that one with an E minor. E and G. Okay. Let's do some fingering. G5, F4.
Excuse me.
Yes.
Dawn, I'm sorry.
Okay.
On the very last line on the first page,
Uh-huh.
you changed that C to a what?
A C major 7. Oh, the last C?
The last C.
The last C. Cross it out and make it an E minor, elephant minor, which is E and G. Good question.
All right. Thank you.
You're welcome. And any other questions before I go up to fingering? Whoops, somebody coming in the waiting room. Here we go. All right.
Dawn, on the first page, the last line, the first, you changed to C major 7, right?
Correct. That is correct.
Thank you.
The rule for major 7 is always the letter -1. So it is C and B, and you can play it this way, or you can play it if you want to play B and C. Like I said, I won't look.
Okay.
Dawn,
What are the animals for A7 suspended?
A7 suspended. D as in dinosaur, E as in elephant, G as in gorilla, and A as in alligator.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Dawn,
Yes.
on the fourth line on the first page,
Mm-hmm.
what were the changes?
Only a D minor 7.
Okay. And
Only-
where was the suspended?
That was on the line above, third line, end of the line,
Oh, okay. I got
over,
it.
over the E for the word C.
DEGA, right?
D-E-G-A, correct.
Okay, thank you.
You're welcome.
Okay.
On that last line, could
Uh-huh.
you run those back again? I got
Last-
confused.
The last line on page 1.
First page, yes.
Okay. The C, the very first C is a C major 7,
Okay.
which is C and B. The A minor, you may put a 7 on it, which would be C, G, and A. The F, make it an F major 7, which is E and F. And then cross out the C and replace it with E minor, elephant minor.
Okay. Thank you so much.
You are very welcome.
All right, Dawn, either before or after the finger, can you give us the beginning, the intro that you played?
Okay, I was going to
News?
do that afterwards, but I can do it right now. Yeah, the intro, and I just wrote the letters up here in the very corner of the page, but you can write them out if you wish. It's A, and I did this on the top keyboard, A, E, A, and then with this hand, you're going to play the B. That's your first phrase. A, E, A, B. Then the next one is going to be A, E, A with the left hand, and with the right hand, it's C, and then you're going to put a D and a B, one on top of the other. D over B. Dog over butterfly. So the first one is A, E, A, B. The next one is A, E, A, C, D over B. And I played it twice. Then go right into the song. So let's do fingering first.
How come it wasn't there to begin with? Oh, you did. Never mind.
All right, somebody else, and here comes Georgianne. Okay. Got to add people in as they see them in the waiting room. So just have patience with that. All right, let's do fingering first, and then we'll go into what kind of setups I used here. All right, G5, F4, E3, F4, E3, F4. E3, D2. Second line, E3, D2, E3, D2, E3. D2, C1. You might want to put a little arrow on this next note. Make it a 4. Arrow just means heads up. This is unconventional fingering. D3, C2, D3, C2, D3. Third line, C2, B1, D3, C2, B1, C2, B1, C2, D3, E4. At the end of that held E, put a check mark. You're going into the chorus now. And that would be a place where if you'd want to change a preset, or if you would want to go to the lower keyboard or add a duet, that would be an okay place to do that, right there at the chorus. G2, A3, G2, A3, G2, A3, G2. G2, last line A3, G2, A3, G2, A3, and G2. Pretty easy stuff. G2, E1, G2, A3, C4, D5. Top of the second page. C4, A2, G1, A2. At the end of that held A, in the 1 through 5 ending, put a check mark. Your pickup note G is A5. And that would also, right before you play that G, if you're going to change a sound, that's where you would want to mark it, is that second measure in the middle of the second measure of the first ending. That's where you would want to mark lower keyboard or new preset or however you want to mark it. So that pickup note is the same sound as when you go back to that next verse. Let's go to the sixth ending. Six verses to this, written in 5 minutes. Crazy thing. G2, E1, G2, A3, C4, D5, C4, A2, G1, A2, and that's it. Now, what are some of the other backgrounds you could use? Soft gospel works very well. Write the songs if you have it. Preset number 1. Dream Kiss, preset 0. On some of the smaller instruments, on the easies, easy 10s, 4s, 3s, 2s, 1s, Smooth Guitarist at 120. On the Freedom 3, Guitar Heaven at 60, and then play it double time. Mellow Smooth 16 beat at 60 and play it double time, or the Country Acoustic Guitar at 120. That's for a Freedom 3. Your sound,
It was something like that.
guitars, flutes, good organ is fine too. And I'm sure you guys can find all kinds of other things. Trumpets were used if you go back to the original TV show, there were some trumpets that were used too, but it started out with the guitars and the flutes. Okay, so your intro is written for you. Now I just gave it to you. If anybody questions that or needs it again, email me and I'm more than happy to give it to you on the email. Then the first
There it is.
part that you go through, the first 3 lines,
Now
are
you
going
turn
to
the
be
voice
with
up.
no drums.
There it is.
No drums.
Where's the sound?
Sound.
Okay, we've got some. I'm gonna
Muted her.
mute some of you here. Please don't be offended. Okay. I set that the first 3 lines up with absolutely no drums. So you kind of have to know how fast you're going so that you can get a feel for
Good.
how to play it. All right, we still have people. Can you see how I'm doing that? Just rolling the notes. Then I'm going to do. Then you play the pickup note and go into the first 3 lines with no drums. Now here, right here, when you're playing that A sus, you either want to kick your foot switch and change to the next preset, or if you're on one of those guitarist backgrounds, if you go to rhythm preset number 10, it'll put those drums
Look,
in
it's
for
showing your
you.
face up.
Oh, Jesus.
It'll put the drums in for you. And if you put the drums in and put it on save it to a preset, you just want to go to the next preset, because that's what I did. I just added the drums, put it on the preset right next door, so that after I play that A sus, I'm going to reach up, I'm going to press number 2. There's my drums, and if you want to do a little fill in with the A7, you may do that. So now you have drums for the chorus. Okay. And And then I'm just adding duets and things in between, and you can play as many verses as you want, or you could go to any other preset that you want. So the first part, no drums. Add your drums after you play that A sus. That's where you want to add the drums. It's actually during that first measure while you're holding that long hold note of the fourth line.
All right, so Dawn, on an easy 4, I guess, to get the drums in there, or just to hit the volume button just to raise the
Yep, that's
volume
the
up?
only way you can do it on the 4. Yep. But you've got a whole measure to do it. You've got the once you play that A sus, you've got a whole measure to do it. Just hit your drums and get that. Just let that volume go straight up to the top.
Okay.
Then play your A7, and if you need an extra measure, so what? Then just hit your fill and add an extra measure to get to the chorus. Not a big deal. It's your arrangement.
Dawn, this is
Yes.
Georgianne. I'm sorry I came in late.
Okay.
I just want one request is that when you very first started, what rhythm background and what sound did you?
Guitars 4/4.
Okay.
Go to your guitarist section. Go to guitars 4/4, rhythm preset 0 to start, and rhythm preset 10 because that's what adds the drums when you get to the first measure of line 4.
Okay. And what was the tempo?
120.
Okay.
Do you need me to play it one more time? Or are we good? Play it one more time? Heads nodding yes, no, yes. Dottie says yes. Okay.
Sure, go ahead.
I love this song. This is just too much fun to play. It really is. Last time I just repeated the last 2 lines, but I went back to no drums. And you can hit the fade and just fade it right out. Like the helicopter flying away. Oh yes, and if you're Gene McDonald, you will be sure to put in a helicopter sound over here in your green toy box. I did not do that because I forgot all about that.
Don, one question.
Yes.
In the introduction that you played, you said it was A, E, A, B,
Yes.
and then A, E, A, C, and then the 2 notes you played were C and B?
Nope. D and B. Dogs and butterflies.
Okay.
Yep.
Thank you.
You're welcome. Just something real simple like that, but that's pretty much exactly how they played it on the TV show. When you heard that, you knew right away what song this was going to be, didn't you? Yep. You can try some of the other introductions, but I did. I tried Easy 4/4 introduction, the first one, the second one, but it just doesn't do anything. It just doesn't sound right. So, you know, that was the only one that really, really works, is just take it from the original. And it was easy enough. Okay, Lorraine, Oh, no, no, this is Mr. Dick. Dick Grabowski's coming in. Thank you for your patience, Dick. I'm so sorry we have to allow people in one at a time these days. So they're not letting people come in late automatically, so thank you for your patience. But I'm glad you decided to stay and join us today. Okay, let's go to the next song. If anybody needs the copy of this or needs to know what I did, do not forget to email me, and I'm more than happy to give that to you. The next song is Summer Nights, which is another really, really fun song. Not super hard, but on this one, it's more a matter of how you play it rather than what you're playing. There's two backgrounds that work the best on this. As far as chord changes, yeah, okay, let's go to the very last page. Let's go to page 3 of this. See on the last line? See on the last line where it says no chord?
Mhm.
I want you to put over the F sharp, put a B, butterfly, and over the G note, put a C, chicken. Okay? And you'll see what I do when I get there, because this again is going to be a little bit of a how you play it rather than what you're on, so that it comes out a little bit more like the original. So what do we know about Summer Nights?
What was that? What was that first one over the over the F sharp?
B, butterfly.
Okay.
B and C. Yep, and I'm not actually going to be playing the chords as much as I'm just going to be playing. You'll see when I get there. Okay, this is the best known version was recorded by John Travolta and Olivia Newton-John for the film version of Grease. Okay, I love this. This was just a chick flick, fun, totally fun thing beyond belief, and it was the summer of 1978. So it was right after I graduated. At the year after I graduated high school. Wow. No wonder my kids call me a classic.
You're a youngster.
Yeah.
Youngster.
Summer Nights was originally written for the stage show, transitioned to Broadway, and the original Chicago version of the musical had a different song called Foster Beach. So it was a completely different song in the Chicago Broadway version of this. In 2004, the song finished number 70 in AFI's 100 Years, 100 Songs. In 2010, Billboard ranked it number 9 on their Best Summer Songs of All Time list. Remember when I did my summertime contest and we did all songs about summer? Yeah, I'm itching to do one of those again. I got to talk to Robert. We got to do one of those. That was just too much fun. Okay, there's two backgrounds that work very well on this. I'm sure we can find a million more. The one that's the closest to the original is 50s pop vocal. 50s pop vocal, and I used rhythm preset 7, which came up to brass on the bottom, and that's going to be the John Travolta part, and it came up to scat choir on top, and that's going to be the Olivia Newton-John part. Okay, you can also go to Twistin', which is under rock, Twistin', rhythm preset 0, and that's just the opposite, but it gives you the saxophones. No, wait a minute. There we go. The saxophones on top, which I actually almost like that sound better because it was set in the 50s, 60s. And the bottom comes up with your scat. So you don't have to do any setting. It's already there in those presets. So those are the two that I really liked. At about 118 was the tempo that I'm on. You could also try Kinda Hush if you've got it. And if you're on one of the smaller instruments, the rock full band, or if you've got rock 50s organ, go ahead and use your rock, not 50s organ, 50s rock band. Otherwise, rock full band will work on this, about 118, and adjust the tempo to where it fits for you. Okay, again, go ahead.
What was the preset for rock twisting?
The setting was rhythm preset 0 on Twistin because it gave you some fabulous saxes on the top, and so John Travolta's on the top and Olivia Newton-John comes up on the bottom. You don't have to do any messing with the presets. I'll do that in my variety class in November, and I'll have you guys messing with the presets. So we're just keep that one kind of easy. All right, now this is kind of fun to play too, but you have to watch. You either have to mark your music up or lower, and I did not because one time John's down here and Olivia's up here, and then my next preset it switches. So I just have to keep watching where it says boy, girl, and if I mess it up, you know, don't get mad at me because it goes fast. Watch where your first ending is. It's long. The first ending starts at the bottom of the first page and goes to the end of the third line. And yes, I will go over fingering, but let's play it first. The second time, you're going to go from the end of the second, or the end of the first measure here, and jump over to line 4 of the second page. And if you need to mark those in colors, all right, how did Georgianne get stuck in the waiting room again? Okay. Bring her back in. All right, so here we go, and you can use whatever intro you want to use for this. Get out your hair grease and, oh yeah, your pink jackets.
Well, that's awesome.
Fun, huh?
Whoa.
Yeah, fun, because that's how they did it.
Oh,
That's how they did it. So you need 2 presets, or those of you that have fast fingers, you're going to have to hit the stop button, turn the style off, and then touch your easy button. So it's going to be a 3-button push if you don't set it up in a preset right next door. Because you're going to have to turn off this. It's the top of the third page. Could she get me a friend? Boom, right there. You want to put 2 double lines and write stop. Stop. And then you're going to turn off your rhythm, turn on your easy button, and then you got to play the sounds. Just play them. You just play with the easy, and you play it free fall. You play it the way You remember them singing. They're pensive. They're thinking. Wow, it turned colder. That's where it ends. So I told her we'd still be friends. Then we made our true love vow. And it slows down right there. And then he just goes off, wonder what she's doing now. And it slows down. And when you get to the end, oh, those, oh, when you get to the oh, oh, those summer, and then I put 2 more lines because you're actually going to do a no chord right there. So the no chord is still there. You want to do the no chord so you stop that G. See where I am on the bottom of that last page? Do the no chord so you stop the G. And then the B chord, you're actually going to play on the upper keyboard. Now, you can play the 3-fingered chord, or if you just want to play a B and a C, you can do that. You can do that. It's not going to play in the duet, but you could actually do that. If you know the full-fingered chord, you want to make sure you play both hands, B, D sharp, and F sharp. Those are the notes of the B chord. Both hands. And then when you go to the C chord, it's C, E, G. So when you get to Na Heights, it's super easy to do, but very effective.
All right, Dawn, when you for the easy 4, I guess you're going to have to start with this style turned off, and then do all your settings, and then when you want the rhythm, then you put your smooth or put your rock on then,
Well, you
and then
want
at the end turn the rock off, so then you can get it without this background playing.
Yeah, you want to start with your rhythm. Absolutely, you're starting with your rhythm. And if you've got the 2 keyboards, you're going to play one sound on top, one sound on bottom, whichever ones you like. Hopefully you will find a preset that does it for you so you don't have to work too hard. And then when you're ready to go to the top of the 3rd page, you're going to hit stop. You're going to turn off your rhythm style and put the easy button on. That's really all you need to do. And keep the sounds exactly as they are.
If you don't start it with the style off, though, if you press the rhythm with that style on, it's going to change all your backgrounds.
You want to start with the style on. You want the style to start with this one on.
No, you can't, because with the easy 4, if you have the style on, once you take that off and you go back to it, it'll change all your rhythms, all your presets.
I'll have to check on that. I'll check on that one-on-one with you.
I know, I've done it 1,000 times. And it's,
okay, all right.
It's frustrating because when you have the style on, if you
see me after class, you know what organ you need. All right, let's do some fingering, and then I will also show you the extra notes that I wrote at the end of the first ending. You notice that I put a couple of extra fill-in things with this hand. Yes, I'm going to show you what those are, because those are fun to play as well. All right, let's do fingering. The chord changes, we already did them. That's pretty much everything that's here. And if you notice, it's typical 50s, C, F, G, F. C, F, G, F, C, F, G. Oh, they threw in an A and a D. But it's really pretty simple chords here. So there should not be any problems with your chords. Fingering, E3, C1, F4, D2. G5, E3, G5, G5, F4. E3, C1, F4, D2. G5, E3, G5, G5, F4. E3, C1, F4, G5. E2, you might want to put a little arrow on that one. Otherwise, your 3rd finger is going to fall there and you're going to run out of fingers. G4, A5. 3rd line, F sharp 3, D1, G4. F sharp 3, D1, F sharp 3, G4. check mark. C5, G2, A3, G2, A3, G2, E1, A4, G3, here we go into the first ending, F2, D1, A4, G3, A4, G3. Top of the next page, C1, check mark. Wella, 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 G1, G1, A2, A2, B3, B3, C4, check mark. G3, G3, A4, A4, A4. Second line, A4, 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 G3, A4, G3. E1, G3, G3, A4, A4, A4. Third line, A4, 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 G3, A4, G3, E1. Now, here's where you're going to write some double notes. Double notes. And they're actually coming on beats 2. You're going to have 2/8 notes in place of that quarter rest, so you can actually cross that quarter rest out. And you're going to play E over C. E over C. E on the first line and C just under that. Then you're going to do it 2 times. EC and EC in place of the quarter rest. Beat 4 of that measure, you're going to play the chord for beat 3, and then beat 4, you're going to play FC and FC. F is the first space, and C is still that first line under the space. Now, whatever fingers you want, 3 and 1, 4 and 1. The next measure, you're going to play the G chord, beat 1. You're going to play these notes on beat 2, G over D. G is the second line, D is the first space under the staff. Do it twice. G, D, G, D. Then you play the F chord, and beat 4, you're going to play these 2 sets, F over C. F is the first space, C is the first line under the space. So you have 4 sets of 2 double notes. EC, EC, FC, FC, GD, GD, FC, FC. And that's going to sound like this. Okay, got it?
No,
No. Okay, who said no?
I did. I'm sorry.
That's okay, Dottie.
I got the first FC, right?
It's EC.
And
The first 2 are EC.
Oh, EC, okay.
Play the C chord, and then you're going to play EC.
Okay.
EC, EC. Play the F chord. You're going to play FC, FC. Then you're going to play the G chord, and the next is going to be G, D. Then you play
Okay,
the
G.
F chord, and it's FC again.
Okay. Thank you.
You're welcome. But that just makes it fun. And if you want to play that 2 or 3 times before you go back into the song, absolutely, why not? It's your arrangement. Okay, so the second arrangement that I did, how are we doing on time? Oh, we're perfect. I did this on Twistin'. Twistin', rhythm preset 0, 118, and I just have to reverse my people because now Olivia Newton-John's on the bottom, and the growling sax with John Travolta, he's on the top. So we're going to try this, and again, with an intro. Your intro's in C, very easy.
1, 2,
Hey,
3,
Don.
4.
Oops, sorry, go ahead.
You didn't finish the fingering.
I didn't. Oh, thank you. You are correct. Second ending. Second ending, thank you so much for calling my attention to that. F2, D1, A4, G3, A4, G3, C5. Check mark if you want. C3, C3, D4, D4, D4. Last line, D4, D4, D4. C3, D4, C3, A1. C3, C3, D4, D4, D4. Top of the third page. And this song goes fast, so you seriously might want to make a copy of that third page so that you've got them all laying out in front of you. D4, 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 C3, D4, C3, F5. That's where your double lines go. Stop. Stop. You can actually take that G7 chord and cross it out. You really don't need it. You're going to go right into the C chord with just the easy button. E1. I'm sorry. I am so sorry. E3, C1, F4, D2. Second line, G5, E3, G5, G5, F4. E3, C1, F4, D2. G5, 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 F4, D2. Third line, E3, C1, F4. G5, E2, G4, A5. F sharp 3, D1, G4. F sharp 3, F sharp 3, F sharp 3, G4, C5, G2, A3, G2, A3, G2, E1, A4, G3, F2, A4, G3, A4, G3. Put those two lines. You want to do a no chord right there and stop everything. Then you want to do your na heights, F sharp 2, G3. Actually, those fingers go out the window if you're playing your full fingered chords. If you're doing 6 fingers at a time, doesn't matter. And the last tell me more, tell me more, tell me more is G3, G3, A4, 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 C5. Sorry, thank you for calling my attention to that. I forgot. I just wanted to play it. Okay, let's do twistin'.
1, 2, 3, 4.
get to do your no chord at the end so that your chord stops.
Beautiful.
That's a fun song to play. And just adding some of these little things just really makes it come alive. Because if you remember the musical at all, I'm sure most of you watched it. This is one of the most fun musicals of all time, honest and truly. I really love it. And if you go back and forth, and yeah, I missed a couple times going from the guy to the girl, so what? So what? It's just a lot of fun to play, and slowing it down at the end just gives it drama, because once again, we love drama. Oh, any questions about what we did?
No, it's beautiful.
Don't forget, let's go to next week's songs. Don't forget to look for your Christmas books to see if you want to order any. If you need to come in the store and see what I have, mine are not for sale. Mine are only to look at so that you can see what's out there, so you can get an idea of what you want to order. I'll put the order in next week, Friday, so you've got a week. I don't think the company's going to buy Christmas books and send them to the store just because we don't have the foot traffic that we normally have. I could be wrong, but I don't think I am. Next week, thank heaven for little girls. Let's see how much work we have to do with that one. Actually, quite a bit. Yeah, we may just do one next week. Depends on what I do with it. Summertime deserves a complete 1 week all by itself. If I have time, or if there's not enough to teach in Thank Heaven for Little Girls, I will also add Supercalifragilistic just for fun. Any questions?
So one song for next week.
Yep, unless I do the Supercalif song. Yep.
Okay.
And it just depends on how much I can find to do.
So what was the song for Friday, Dawn?
For next week, Friday,
Yeah.
Thank Heaven for Little Girls from Gigi, Maurice Chevalier. First, these days, that song would be considered a pedophile song.
Yeah.
Yeah, exactly. Yeah, the world is going to the cats and dogs. Yep, pretty crazy. Pretty crazy. All right, yeah, don't forget, if you want to go online to halleonard.com and just look and see what kind of easy play Christmas books they do have. Sometimes they give you a list of songs next to the book so you can see which books you would like. I have not decided if we're going to do any special just Christmas songs in general. I will do a Christmas song from when it's my turn to teach the variety class. But if we need to do one or two, I think we could probably throw in one or two between now and Christmas and the regular classes too. I just don't want to have everybody order a book just for that.
Right.
If you have any extra thoughts on that, I'm wide open to suggestions. But email me or stop in and see me if you want to order a book. And yeah, emailing me is fine because I read all of them. I try to answer them all as well. You guys are the bestest. And again, if you have any questions, don't forget to email me. I'm here for you. 5028@FletcherMusic.com. And do play around with the website. Pam did say Fletcher Music Centers, The Villages takes you right into my classes. Because after a while, these emails, the email links are going to stop, and it's going to be just through the web page. So start getting used to going to the web page and checking us out. Concert this Sunday, not this afternoon. Concert is Sunday at 4. It is Art Bishop. 4 is Florida time, 1 o'clock Arizona time. It is Art Bishop, and he is doing some fabulous gospel stuff. With that, I will see you all in the next class. Thank you
Thanks,
so much.
Dawn.
Thank you, Dawn.
Thanks, Dawn.
Thanks, Don.
Thank you.
Bye-bye.
Bye. Love you
Thanks, Dawn.
guys.